Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series of mushrooms from Small Victories by Johanna Basford. We're using Polychromos pencils for this page and we have these magical looking mushrooms to colour today. Not houses for change, but we have these little dots coming out from underneath them which made me think they're magic, and I'm going to have a little go at trying to make them look a little bit different. We'll see if it works. I've tried this out before with the Prismacolor pencils and it worked, but obviously Polly's are a bit different, so we'll see. And we're going to start with a light pink. So this is the Pink Madder Lake. Now Polychromos aren't particularly light, so I'm going to try and use it lightly, and I'm just going to put it down in a few areas like that. Okay, then we're going to get a light violet. Here it is, the violet, and we're going to put that down in a few places as well. There we go. And then we're going to use a very light blue. I think the sky blue is probably the best one. And we're going to sort of fill in those gaps. I know it's really pale, that is the idea. So fill in the gaps, keeping it light, like that. Now I want to smush this all together with a white pencil, but the Polychromos pencil is not the best for this, so I'm actually going to use a, what have I got here? I've got a Prisma pencil. I might use this Prisma white. I want it sharper than that. I haven't got a decent sharpener in here for a Prisma. I'm going to try it in my, oh, it's going to work in my Norris. Now what I want to do with my Prisma pencil is go over the whole of this completely, and you can see how I fade out all those white bits with the pencil. And if I was using Prismas here, this would smush all the colours together, but I'm not. But I don't think it matters. I want a sort of light, sort of see-through-ish, magical, I don't really know how to describe it, like fairy wings sort of effect. I'm sure that's made it clearer. So there it is, quite pale. Now I'm going to grab a grey. I want one that's reasonably dark, but I'm going to be very careful with it. I want to just show the shape of the mushroom. So this is a cold grey 4. And I'm going to go into these gaps and put in a little bit of shadow, just so we can start to see this shape. So a little bit in here. I'm thinking just that side, and then scumble it out a bit. Same on this side. I'm struggling to see, my light is catching the pencil shine. Got to look in the camera. So a bit more here, a bit more here. Put a bit each side of the line so you can see it. I do the same on this one. A little bit in here. A bit on the line there. A bit to the right of those lines. Just so that we've got a little bit of shadow going on. Now let's get in here with a pen. Now I'm going to go right over these black lines to really fade them down. Now obviously we put that shadow in, so I want to go to the side of that so we can still see it. I'm hoping that by just really fading those lines, it will help to give the impression that this is sort of a thin wispy see-through type item, maybe. It's a bit different, isn't it? Now I do this, as I say, for fairy wings. It's quite good. It almost looks like they're slightly mother of pearly, if you get it right, or if you use your imagination a bit. I'm using my really thin pens. It's not covering up every scrap of line, which is good because we want to see a little bit so that it doesn't just disappear, but it looks a little bit more see-through now. Right, our stems. Now I'm going to use this grey that we used before, and it's a little bit darker, and it'll help it to stand out a little bit. Like that. But I'm thinking this is see-through, so we would see the stem coming up to the middle, through the middle like that. So just draw your stem in a bit. I don't know if it's really going to show up very much, just so it looks like we can see a bit of the shadow going through. There we go. Okay, now we've got our leaves to do. I'm thinking to go with these light colours, maybe something. Let's step out of my comfort zone. What am I going to do? Keep you hanging on. Cobalt green. I'm going to do cobalt green base and just fade. We're going to go over with something else. Just do something a little bit different. I don't want to go too dark because this is so pale. If we go too dark, it's going to it'll look like I haven't done anything there. But a little bit of darker colour in the middle. That's it. Been chatting with my son. He's waiting for he's gone to uni, and he's saying he was looking at his what he's got to do next year, and he's got to do a week's internship, which he's not very happy about. But I was sort of thinking, I've got to get him some clothes. Being a student, he sort of lives in chinos and hoodies and trainers. I'm not going to be able to wear that. So my next colour is the light phthalo green. Oh, there you go. And I'm going to go over what I've done and take it to the tip. Again, sort of fading as I go. And we'll have a sort of, let me just brush that off so you can see, a light bluish green colour. And it's just a little bit different, isn't it? It still looks like it could be a leaf. I don't know what I'm going to do for the other ones, but I want to keep it in this sort of cold colour scheme. Now I'm also thinking about these little dots that are falling, the magic. I mean, they're just black. We could colour them up a little bit. I'm thinking I might have some pens that I could use to just make them coloured, but it's tricky because I don't want them to be so bright that they overtake the rest. If you did a background, I'd do them white, but I'm not going to do a background, sorry. I'm not going to do a background, so I'm not sure. Now what should we do for this other one? I know. It's like a very different idea. Another sharpening needed. There we go. This is the light green, and we're going to start with this. Now this one we're going to take all the way to the tip, still trying to layer it up a little bit more at the base. I can hear a really noisy bird outside. Just looking about, I can't see one. Oh, there he is. It's a magpie sitting on the chimney at the house opposite. The bird, I'm starting to hear birds more now. It's getting towards spring, I suppose. It doesn't, I don't know, it feels a bit early to be thinking spring, probably because we haven't had any snow. It feels like it's, you know, Now I think I'm going to use this pink. This is the pink we used for the mushroom, the pink madder lake. I'm going to use it on the tips of the leaves, just a tad. If that feels uncomfortable for you, don't, just leave it. Or use a bit of green instead, you know, like a, what would I use? Maybe a juniper green. No, it's a bit dark. You could use a bit of the light phthalo green. But there we go. A little bit of pink. I can do a bit more on the top one. Now what should we do for our grass? Maybe we'll use this, I know. I do the earth green. Okay, so it's quite a grey green. Just look a bit different. Now we've got bits sticking out, so I'm going to draw some strands of grass on. I'm going to sharpen this up so it's got a nice point, and then just draw some grass. There we go. I'm still thinking about these little dots. I'm just going to have a look. So I've got this set of pens. Sorry, they're quite big in there. I'm thinking this lilac-y one might work. These are the Moonlight pens from Jelly Roll. And I'm just going to try this one. This is a lilac, it's number 423. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to not go over the black dots. I'm going to add to them like that. A light pink might work as well, but I don't have one. So there we are. Yep, I'm going to leave that there. So there is it's quite a quick one today, but a bit of a different technique and some experimental leaves. Yeah, I think this green is a little bit warm for the rest of the picture, but you know, nature doesn't always choose the best colours, does it? Well, very often does, to be fair, but it doesn't match. So there we go, it's raining. That magpie's getting soaked. He's walking on the roof trying to find all the insects in the moss. Very sweet. Anyway, that's me for today. So thank you for watching. Yeah, watch out for another video later. But for now, thank you so much. Yes, hope you have a really super day. And happy colouring.